creepy, and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
It's hilarious when someone messages me and says you have to accept Jesus' love or you will burn in hell, because I love Jesus. I love any man who can get nailed for 3 days straight and come back for more.
When I was young, I always learned, if you give, the God gonna give you the double.
We all know what happened in the last Euros. You showed absolutely no sign of nerves stepping up.
Our faith in God, to come back from something like that was really difficult, but, I used it to make me stronger, and yeah, today I took the chance, so I'm happy.
Father God, I thank you for that moment. Thank you for everything you've just shown me, Father. Your glory is more than enough. Let you be shown today. Just protect me. All I ask for is protection. In the name of Christ, that's what it's all about, Father.
So I believe in God. I would like people to have a think about Jesus Christ.
How did you keep dealing with those setbacks?
For me, the main thing would be my faith in God. So I believe that as long as I work hard and apply myself, what will happen, and I trust that the plan He has for me is the best.
You donate to food banks on Sundays, and they didn't realise you were a footballer. Is that true?
I think it's better that way, but no one realises or knows what's going on. I think, with my church, we would deliver food to different houses and people who are in difficult situations. For me, I try to do that as something that's personal.
The first guy, mocking our Lord and Savior is not going to work out for him. God is great.
They don't like you because your light brings out their darkness. They don't like you because you make them look at themselves. You make them look in the mirror, and that's not an easy thing to do. They don't like you because you show them where they can be better, consistently. They don't like that because it shows them where they're weak. Weakness is just pain. There's love to be poured in it from every angle. They don't like you because you release their demons. They don't like you because they've worked so hard to mask those demons and keep them locked in the closet, and baby, you air it out. They don't like you because their mask doesn't work with you. None of the mistreatment has gone unnoticed. You may be wondering why they haven't received their karma. It's because the cord is still attached. You need to cut the cord.
You hear the lady? I'm cutting the cord, man.
Want to hear about the greatest revenge story of all time? Well, meet Ferruccio Lamborghini, the inventor of Lamborghinis. Duh, lock in. See, Lamborghini had a problem. Before he invented his own Lamborghini sports cars, he owned a sports car from a company named Ferrari. But he would always find a problem with this thing called the clutch, which is some fancy machine that's attached to the engine. Anyway, he drives it up to the Ferrari place. They take it to the back. They give it back to him, and it's never fixed. So he says, hold on, why don't I just fix it myself? Duh, I forgot to tell you something. Lamborghini's a genius mechanic who made tractors. In fact, his tractors were so revolutionary and amazing, almost everyone in Italy owned one. So he changes his Ferrari's clutch for his tractor's clutch and invents the perfect Ferrari. He's like, yo, I gotta tell somebody. He goes to Enzo Ferrari himself, the guy who invented Ferrari. He goes, excuse me, Ferrari? Ferrari goes, did you hear me? Ferrari, sir. Ferrari goes. Somebody pops up and says, Ferrari doesn't speak unless he feels like speaking. Ferrari goes, what do you need? Lamborghini goes, I just wanted to tell you your car's clutches weren't that good. Ferrari goes, everybody goes, ah! Ferrari goes, maybe you should just stick to making tractors and leave the Ferraris to the experts. Like me, Ferrari. Lamborghini goes, or maybe I'll spend the rest of my life making a better car than you. He storms off. And well, he makes an amazing car. Didn't I tell you he was an expert mechanic? He just took the parts from his tractor, which were pretty cheap, and put it into a sports car. He then hires ex-Ferrari mechanics, and in just 2 years, he invents a car that beats Ferrari in almost every category. But then he realized something. When does it end? What's the goal? He would just be competing with Ferrari forever. So he removes himself from the competition and decides to live a happy life.
And then Horacio Pagani did the same thing to Lamborghini. Enzo Ferrari would never accept someone is better than him.
Try stingray.
I'm in Malaysia checking out the food scene.
The part that we eat, this part, the middle we don't eat. A soft bone inside that we eat.
Is there any stinger or no?
No. Not sure about that.
I'm specifically on an island called Langkawi, and let's see how Chef breaks this down.
This part is the best part of stingray.
So is this like the left fin?
Yes.
And the plan is to take out a fillet or steak piece from the left fin of the stingray.
The soft bone inside.
And do you eat the skin too or no?
Yes, it is skin though. The best part is.
I see. Okay, but the skin is too hard?
Yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah, this is hard. It's almost like a dinosaur.
After a quick wash, we'll season this with only salt and lime juice because I really want to see what the stingray tastes like with no spices. Then we'll get some good color on both sides.
It doesn't smell fishy.
The meat is similar to shark. It's put in the pizza oven for about 3 to 4 minutes.
Once it's out of the oven, you are ready to plate and garnish.
Sambal.
That's a lot of sambal. How much are you putting on?
I like sambal.
It tastes almost like a white fish, but more meatier. It's not heavy in that fish flavor, but the sambal really makes it. If it didn't have the sambal, it'll feel like it's missing something.
Because the fish doesn't have much flavor, the sambal will come just nice with the fish.
What would you give this out of 10?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? I'm gonna give this maybe like a 8.4 out of 10. It's really good.
Now try asam pedas stingray. If you love sour and spicy, you won't regret it.
The devil himself has nightmares about being trapped inside this state-of-the-art prison. The thing that separates this place from every other prison on earth is once an inmate enters through its front doors, he will never leave again. No yard time, no transferring, no visits, no phone calls, no outside world for the rest of his life. CICOT was built in El Salvador in 2023 as part of their new strategy to lock up the most violent gang members. And it's working because the country has never been safer as the people responsible for most of the crime live here now. The lights in the prison never shut off and inmates don't even get a pillow or mattress to sleep on. The only thing they get is a bed sheet and they will sleep on these cold solid steel bunks for the rest of their lives. Privacy doesn't exist here. There's only 2 toilets per unit and no entertainment. All they have to do is sit there and think about the deadly crimes they committed which led to them being there. But they do get to stand on the other side of the bars for 30 minutes a day to stretch. And that's the extent of the freedom they have.
You know, El Salvador used to be the most deadly country. Now it isn't. This proves being strict works.
Really, there was never an intention to show disrespect to any religious group. On the contrary, I think that Thomas Joly really tried to really intend to celebrate community tolerance. That was his word yesterday. And looking at the result of the polls that we shared, we believe that this ambition was achieved. If people have taken any offense, we are of course really sorry.
Listen to me, God is no man's debtor, and I'm going to ask you to do something right now. I hope this video reaches many people, and if you're in the USA right now and you're ready, you're coming up to the end of your subscription and you're ready to switch wireless providers, would you please consider switching to C-Spire? They're not sponsoring me to make this video, but I want to, something that's hit me really is this. These guys will have lost millions for what they've decided to do. Millions of opportunities, millions of eyeballs to pull out all advertisements. And yet they're doing it because they are saying, no, the Lord Jesus Christ is more precious. So as Christians, let's get behind this company and let's support them. If I was in the USA, I'd support them. So if you are, please do consider this.
They knew exactly what they were doing. Everybody should pull out the Olympics. You know, Samsung just pulled out too, $1 billion. Catholic, Orthodox, Christian, anything. As long as you stand up for Jesus, then I'll stand with you. Qatar screams expensive.
And Madonna came to town, and she put on a private little concert about halfway through our movie and invited Hugh Grant and I to be her special guests, you know.
Amazing.
We go there, we're gonna fucking see Madonna, dude, holy fuck, I fuck. So we go watch her thing as she's playing her new album, and after she plays, we're very excited. She says, you gentlemen want to come backstage and hang out. We're like, you damn right we do, Madonna. We're gonna fucking hang out with Madonna, dude. Let's go backstage. We're hang out with her, and almost immediately, Hugh Grant and Madonna have chemistry and are all over each other, right? And so after a while, she's like, you gentlemen want to come up to my suite and hang out? We're like, hey, we do, man. And Hugh Grant and I are about to get on the elevator, and I go, whoa, wait a minute. Hugh, I swear to God, my feelings will not be hurt if I get out of this elevator right now and go back to the hotel by myself.
Yeah.
And he's like, Tom, do you or do you not want Madonna? I go, well, of course I do. But I didn't want to be a weirdo about it. He's like, just stick around, Nate, about 10 minutes. I'll be Donna. So we get up to her suite. It's the biggest, most beautiful suite I've ever seen. You know, it's just huge and glamorous. And she's like, gentlemen, make yourselves at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in that room and freshen up. So
Hugh Grant and 9,000 other dudes. Alright, let me fill you in, just in case you don't know what's going on. This is Sebastian Delugo, the person who raised the Palestinian flag during a parliamentary meeting in France. Everyone is mad at him. You know, I stand with Israel, but my dad said, regardless if he's your enemy, shake hands with him, as it will make you fearsome.
I don't want nobody to sweat on me. Seen somebody talk about, you're in the public gym with your shirt off. Hey, people out here hiked up in their butt crack and they cuckoo. I can have my shirt off. Who else gonna motivate these people in the gym? We ain't on no TRT. We ain't on no pre-workout. We ain't on no testosterone. We ain't on that poison protein powder. I don't give a damn if it's a organic pea protein. It's poison. We ain't on no prime energy drink. We ain't on no C4. We ain't on no clenbuterol. We ain't on no Anavar, no IgA, HD1, nothing. No beef, no chicken, no pork. And we ain't even on no food right now or no water.
I'm all for him changing his life for the better, but the way he makes it seems like he was never on anything is crazy. By the way, that's Mr. Kali Muscle. This is a destruction of all Western countries. And you guys, the citizens, are allowing it. You all need to unite and stand up together and say enough is enough. Take back your country.
4 people that you need to forgive if you're really serious about changing your life and learning how to live in the present. The first people you have to forgive are your parents, living or dead. You must absolutely forgive them for every mistake they ever made in bringing you up. At the very least, you should be grateful to them for giving you life. The second persons you must forgive are the people from your marriages or relationships that didn't work out. Say these words, I forgive him or her for everything, and I wish him or her well. Now the third person you must forgive is everyone else in your life who has ever hurt you in any way. Clean the slate and forgive and forget. The fourth and final person you have to forgive is yourself. Stop carrying these past mistakes around with you. That was then, and this is now. Just repeat, I forgive myself completely, and then get on with your life.
Alright, sounds like a New Age nonsense to me. But I somewhat agree with him. When you forgive, it's not for them, it's for you, for your own good. You don't want to carry that burden and feeling all your life. It's for your physical and mental well being. It's not easy, but you must.
I was in this restaurant minding my business, and all the white people stood up and did this shit.
The shit.
You should be standing for it too.
Yep.
Those people didn't do a damn thing wrong. Those people didn't do anything wrong. In fact, it was you. You're the wrong one because you didn't stand up, you didn't put your hand on your heart, and you didn't pay homage to that flag. All them American citizens that died for your ass to be eating at that place, and you're gonna sit there and
It's called respect.
Dude, this is some preaching. Listen to this.
Me and Sequoia go to the same gym.
Me too. Me too.
Me and Sequoia
No, listen to
lift
this,
the same
though.
weights, different sizes.
Listen.
Me and Sequoia listen to the same music over the speakers at the gym. How come me and Sequoia don't look the same? It's the gym's fault.
Oh.
It's the weight's fault.
Oh.
When he leaves the gym, he takes the gym with him.
There it is.
When he leaves the gym, he goes, I went to the gym so I can't eat that. I went to the gym so I can't do that. When I leave the gym, I want the gym to justify the rest of my week.
Listen to
Well,
that.
I went to the gym so I can't eat that. I went to the gym so I can do that. I mean,
that's what I
you ever
do.
been to the same church, had different faith? I read the same Bible. How come you have faith for miracles and I don't? How come you've got faith and I don't? It's not God's fault. It's not the church's fault. It's not the book's fault. It's not the Bible's fault. The worship song's not. He lets the gym change his life. I use the gym to justify my life. How many times have you said on Friday
Dude, that
night,
hits
I'll
so
go out
hard.
tonight, but I'll make sure I'm praying on Sunday morning.
Oh my goodness.
Spiritual people use spiritual things to change their life. Carnal people want spiritual things to bless their life.
This is the best explanation ever.
LeBron James is a shapeshifter. Here is all the proof that you need. And shout out to Woke1788 on TikTok for first pointing this out. But right here in a second, watch his eyes. Right there. People will say, oh, that's just a TV screen. But there's a reason that LeBron has been able to do what he has been able to do at his age. Is because he is a shape-shifting demon. This is exactly what he is, and right here he is showing you exactly what he is, a shape shifter. This is more truth in plain sight, and people need to really wake up and realize what exactly is going on. They are among us. People need to realize exactly what is happening. LeBron James is a shapeshifter.
All right. Hollywood is full of shapeshifter. Let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
So this is the prophecy guy, and I think everyone has seen this dude at this point. Obviously, he called the attempt on Trump. He got it right, and then he's talking about XRP, all that kind of stuff with crypto. And now he's saying that he's saying a lot of things, but he's saying that there's going to be another attempt on Trump here pretty soon. And he describes it just like he described the last one. If this comes true, it's just getting scary at this point. Not to mention it's going to be pretty cool because I think a lot of us that are holding XRP are going to be quitting our jobs, buying ridiculous stuff, and maybe start going to church again because this is getting pretty... I'm personally going to be pretty freaked out if this comes true. But like I said, this is not really my lane anymore in life, and this guy's saying a lot of stuff. But if this next one comes true, these next two, I'll go back to church.
He also said that Trump was going to be president again. Let's see if he's right. And you know what? I think XRP will become the global bridge currency.
There is something incredibly eerie about the way they are trying to cover up the blackout in Paris. Yesterday, per multiple social media users, they were sending out pictures of what appeared to be a massive blackout in Paris, yet no news station is talking about it. When have you ever heard of something like this happening during the Olympics and the news doesn't say anything about it? This coming after the French rails were attacked by a cyber attack is absolutely crazy, and I think they might actually be connected. What are the chances you play with one of the four horses of the apocalypse and then all the power gets shut out? You guys literally mimicked the Last Supper and then all the power went out. Now this is the main picture that I've been seeing going around talking about the blackout, and if you see, everything is dark. And people are saying, oh, maybe everyone's sleeping. No, this is absolutely impossible for everybody to have their lights out at the exact same time. And then right after this, did anybody notice that the opening ceremony was deleted from the Olympics homepage itself? Galatians 6:8 says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." In short terms, Paris, you reap what you sow. I find it pretty coincidental that all your lights went out, yet the only thing that was still lit was a church. Not covering this and talking about the only thing that remained lit was, of course, a church that you see way in the background. There's something very fishy here, and I don't like it. Think about it. They have multiple countries in one place that may or may not like each other, and France was just hit by a cyber attack before this. There is no telling what could happen, but God don't like ugly.
First of all, she need to stop with the cursing, especially if she represent the Lord. Anyway, that was our Heavenly Father. He will not be mocked. And the news been stopped telling us actual news.
Down? No, ma'am, I did not. Okay, I was flagging you down. And by the way, I want you to hear this. Okay, I need to see Greg's mail. Greg Harrison.
Who are you?
I'm his fiance.
Okay. Do you have a request?
Yeah, I need his mail.
That's not his mail. I just pulled this from the blue box. That's not how this
Okay,
works.
so why didn't you stop when I was trying to flag you down?
Like I said, ma'am, I didn't see you.
Okay, so can I have his mail? It's important.
That's not how that works, ma'am. I can't just give you the mail.
Well, I need it.
Okay, so you can go to his house and get it.
See, this is a problem I'm having with him. What is your name?
My name is Troy Aikman, ma'am.
Okay, and I need to see your identification. So I need to report this in.
Not required to give you any identification.
You see what's going on here? This is
Dude.
what I'm talking about. Okay, I asked you nicely, can I see his mail because I'm his fiance?
But you're asking me at an industrial park, not even close to where his house is.
If you would have just stopped where I was.
So that woman posts the video that the mailman made because he ends up seeing it. And look, she tries to make this video thinking that people will still side with her. Watch.
Take a look at this.
So I'm driving home from work, and lo and behold, prior to one of my coworkers tells me that I'm on video. So I look on the video, and there I am talking to this, for the lack of a better word, nutbag, who decides to tell me that I need to give her fiance's mail while she's talking to her phone the entire time. Then she threatens to call my supervisor. Well, as I look into it even more so, I find out how delusional this person is, and I'm sitting back and I'm wondering, what in the world? Then to top it off, I think the cherry on top, which made me laugh even more, was the fact that I see another one saying she's going to take me to court, and that she needed that, she had the one thing she needed, which was my name. Troy Aikman. You know what? I laugh because, as most of you might have picked up, and for those of you who didn't, Troy Aikman is a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys who retired years ago.
So here's the other video that she made where she states that she will be taking this mailman to court.
There's two sides of a story, okay? I didn't commit no felony, all right? He wouldn't give me the mails, but it's okay though. He gave me his name, Troy Aikman. All I needed was your name, and I'm taking you to court. You were rude. You didn't give me the mail.
So those of you who may not know, it is a felony to open somebody else's mail. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope this is a skit, which I doubt, because this is just so... let me know what you think.
Troy Aikman for another win. Karanita, go home.
Have y'all seen what I just saw? They are saying, they're reporting that 80,000 people at a Travis Scott concert caused an earthquake. That's not what I think it is. I can't show you an example on this platform, but I can tell you that is a warlock. That was a giant chant, and they were literally casting spells, and when everyone went together, they all matched their aura at the same exact time. This is the same kind of crap we see at the Grove. Almost identical. Y'all, it's a ritual. It's a satanic ritual. And people that try to deny that he's a warlock, I don't even have time for y'all no more. When the end arrives, it's really the beginning. The true dystopia is here. Know what lies beneath the surface? Did you forget his hell invite? It's literally a painting from the 1500s called Christ in Limbo. Like in the same concert when he created that portal. That earthquake was literally God because he's angry, or because the magic these people are doing. These guys aren't even coherent right now. It's a trance, a mass trance.
My question is, why is he still doing concerts after the last tragedy? And why people is still buying his tickets? I don't get it.
First official blood sacrifice to the devil was an abortion when I was 19 years old. And that opened a door in my life that meant that now I would be exposed to those spirits, those demons that encouraged me to become obsessed with blood ritual and blood sacrifice and blood magic. And I just graduated through the years to like full-blown blood magic, where I was literally just writing spells and manifesting my own reality, as they say in New Age, through my blood.
And it seemed worth it because it was working. That's what we have to tell Christians, because they would hear these stories and be like, why would you ever do that?
Right.
Because their
Right.
assumption is your life gets worse. I think what happens is, like, in Christianity, initially it's hard because you're dying to self, you're destroying altars and idols, but then in the long term, it's eternal life, right?
Right.
But then the devil does the opposite, where it's in the
opposite.
short term, he's blessing you in the short term, but then long term.
Right.
And that's why I've heard so many stories like this. I got chills all over me.
Yeah, me too.
You know, because we're exposing a deception.
I'm so happy she turned away from their life. I wonder what was the moment that opened her eyes to the deception. Amen and glory to the Most High.
You own a yacht. Why would I? Just rent it when I need it. How many times I've been on a yacht? 15 times. Does it justify me spending $5 million to buy one to fit in? It's all about freedom. It's the freedom game, guys. If you have too much things tied up to you, they can take these things away from you. The confidence comes in yourself. It's about not adding this baggage that people have told you makes you successful. You don't need the house. You don't need the car. You don't need any of these things. You just need to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. That's it. Once you hit that metric, dude, you're cruising. Don't add all the liabilities that life.
Thanks, man. I almost bought a yacht.
Did you say was the evidence that it happened at 10,000 BC?
Well, the Giza ground plan, like we were just talking about.
The Giza ground plan.
Yeah, the alignment of the three stars of Orion, of the three stars of Orion's belt with the three pyramids, and the alignment of the Sphinx with its counterpart on the horizon, that gives us an astrological date of the age of Leo.
Yes.
And that happens to be right after the Great Flood took place, right? Through the melting of the ice sheets.
Between 12,900 years ago and
Roundabout
there's like
then.
1,000-year period there in the Younger Dryas.
Exactly. And this is, again, also when Plato tells us Atlantis was destroyed. But if you go to South America, the Mayans also say that the people who built these megalithic structures, the people of Quetzalcoatl, that the people of the feathered serpent, they came there after the Great Flood. That's what they say. And they started making these constructions there and teaching the locals agriculture and trying to restart civilization in various ways. So it also aligns with what the myths tell us. Now, my question is this. If you have that level of technology, why would you isolate yourself to Antarctica? Antarctica is a place that's completely isolated. Think about it, right? All the oceans of the world, the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, they meet around Antarctica, and it's sort of hidden away from all the other continents of the planet to the extent that we did not discover it until like the 1800s, except of course it's on a few anomalous maps. the Piri Reis map and the Orontes Phineas map and so on and so forth. But we didn't find, in our modern Western civilization, we didn't find the damn continent until the 1800s.
Did they think it was safer there?
Here's what I think. If they were time travelers, they needed to isolate themselves from the timeline. If you were coming from the year 2200 or the year 3500, and for whatever reason you needed to reach back into the deep past of humanity, right? Let's say Earth suffers some horrendous cataclysm, or let's say they fought a war with an enemy that vanquished them, and their only retreat was backwards in time, to hide in time. You might be motivated by some kind of, noble intention not to mess with the human timeline to the extent that you can avoid it. And initially, you might decide to quarantine yourself to a place where you're not going to be observed by the other evolving societies on Earth. And Antarctica would be the ideal place from which to do that on this planet.
Simple, because it is isolated and no one would go there, especially underground. I'm not buying the time travel stuff.
Most people don't have that kind of self-control and discipline. They don't have to. All most people have to do is when the alarm goes off, get up, wash yourself, brush your teeth, eat something, go to work. Do whatever minimal amount you have to do to keep that job, and then on the bathroom breaks and whenever no one's looking, look through your phone, be distracted, come home, watch Netflix, go to sleep, repeat. That's most people. So they don't have to do anything because they haven't set up their life in a way that requires serious attention and an objective sense of your perspective and your interaction with humans and the way the world is working. They don't have the time. They have family problems, job problems, their cars, something's wrong with their house they gotta fix. They have bills, everything's piling up. People are immensely distracted. So what social media does for them is it gives them a brief rest from their own problems. Most people don't have much discipline, and they don't have to. And they've gotten through life being overweight, and eating processed foods, and drinking too much, and smoking too much, and taking all kinds of pills to mitigate all these problems that they have because they've not taken care of themselves.
Life is beautiful when kept simple. But let me know how you feel about this.
Was this an angel? People are scouring nearly 70 photographs looking for some sign of a man they swear they saw at the scene of a car accident. He prayed, a life was saved. So why did he disappear, even from the photos?
Missouri Miracle. Much of it, though, still a mystery. A teenager with a beautiful smile, 19-year-old Katie Lentz, trapped in her mangled car. Inside that car, Katie had one request: to pray with the rescuers out loud. And then suddenly, right there, amidst the rows of corn, at the scene blocked off for nearly a mile, a man appears.
He was dressed in a black priest shirt with a white collar.
And the rescuers notice something else. He was carrying a small bottle.
He had a small little white container of anointment oil, is what it appeared to be.
And he asked if he could anoint the girl in the car.
Him to do it.
A sense of calmness come over her then.
Follow or subscribe for more.
It was an angel, no doubt. It's conditioning and too much similarity to just be coincident.
There's an easy way to remove plantar warts, and if you've not seen this technique before, using duct tape is amazing. So first you're going to dry the area. So have your shower, dry the area where you see the plantar warts very well. You could use a hairdryer to do this to dry out the skin. Then you're going to take a piece to cover that area of duct tape and apply it to the bottom of your foot. Now make sure you press it down so it's very well sealed, that there's no oxygen getting to the wart, and basically you leave it there. And as soon as that starts to lose its stickiness, that could be a few days, you're going to just reapply a new piece of tape. As time goes on, you're going to see that plantar wart just lifts right out. Follow for more natural health tips.
This is so cool and disgusting at the same time.
Honestly, what the hell is going on in France right now? Because just hours before the opening ceremony for the Olympic Games, there has just been a massive coordinated attack on multiple high-speed rail lines. And keep in mind, this is on a day where there's expected to be around 600,000 people in attendance. Authorities say that these arson attacks were deliberately to sabotage the Olympics because they say that the train lines were attacked in the west, north, and east, and they even tried to complete the full circle around Paris, but the attack in the lines on the south was stopped by police. Now, as you'd expect hearing this has caused major disruption, and the head of the transportation company said that a staggering 800,000 travelers will be affected because of this. This is actually on top of now we're just finding out that the Argentina football team got robbed at their training camp and they stole some of the players' watches and rings amongst other things. And on top of the whole list of things I spoke about in yesterday's video. So I don't know if this is just like a France thing specific to France or just a state of the world thing. But honestly, it's just sad to see right now.
Paris has fallen due to the immigrants. We all know it, and it's so sad.
What kind of timepiece do you got?
A Rolex Submariner.
Nice.
And you know the story on the Rolex and its special forces?
Let's hear it.
So back in Vietnam, they employ, the Green Berets, and they had to work with the indigenous population. And, they were making TDY money, right? And in Vietnam at that time, they had Rolexes. If you go into a foreign country and you link up with a foreigner and you need to get out of the country, what timepiece do you think is recognized by the world?
Rolex.
So the special forces they would have the Rolex, and if they needed to get out of country, that was currency to get out of country. It's still being used today.
Smart.
Nice. Why'd you pick the Submariner?
I have many Rolexes.
Oh, okay.
But the Submariner is a diving watch. I was a big diver at one point in my life.
Favorite timepiece?
Rolex Submariner. No, favorite timepiece?
Favorite timepiece of all time.
So Rolex Daytona.
You like the Daytona?
I love the Daytona.
Why? Why do you like the Daytona so
much? In the movie Kill Bill.
The movie Kill Bill?
In the movie Kill Bill, when she found out she was pregnant in a hotel and that girl with the shotgun came in.
Yeah.
Well, there was a scene where she was holding a Submariner Daytona with a leather black strap.
No,
and I don't know, man. I think that's just a classy watch. I just can't afford that watch.
Rolex has some classy watches, man. They just redid a whole bunch of the line.
I love the GMT line too.
Me too. They just redid that one, brought the black one back.
And you have the Batman.
I do.
I have the Batman. I break that out.
No, I don't. I don't have the Batman.
No?
No. I have a GMT, but it's not the Batman.
Oh, okay. So my wife bought me the Batman.
Nice.
Yeah. Back a long time ago, and I would wear the Batman when I public speak and stuff like that.
That's a sharp watch. I like that. The Jubilee, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Wristband?
Yeah.
What about those?
I can't afford Rolex yet, but I'm rocking Seiko.
Getting weird. Pardon fitting.
My children probably bathe maybe once a week.
Can you talk to him
Maybe,
about
and
this?
they don't use.
Michael's a fourth Japanese. He thinks they have to bathe every day.
Well, first off, I just let my kids do what they want to do. I have 4 children. I'm not going to fight with my kids over little stupid things like bathing.
So you don't make them bathe every day. You'll just do when they want to once a week.
If it's once a week,
Right, when they
now
want.
they swim. We have a pool and they swim in the summer, so I guess we call that bathing.
Every time I see these, I always think to myself, is this real? This can't be real. They're joking, right? But they be dead serious. They'd be dead serious, and I'd be like, damn, bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. But there is a very tiny portion of me that thinks damn, you know what? I mean, you're not supposed to strip your oils off your body like that all the time. So I understand that aspect of it. Maybe they're onto something. But in the African in me is like, my friend, if you don't just shut up, because I could never go that long without showering. The most I've been without showering is like 2 days. I've done that before. I'm sure everybody's done that before. Right? But a week? Nah, B. I can't even like think of like my life, the way my life is set up. I go to the gym, I work out, I play ball, I sweat, all that stuff, and then just hop into bed next to my wife and be like smelling like I've been dipped in shit and rolled in breadcrumbs. Nah, B. I'm the type of motherfucker to take a shower and put on cologne before I go to bed. That's the kind of motherfucker I am. I feel like they're getting ready for the apocalypse because that could be the only time I could see myself not showering for a week, months on end. Trying to escape zombies and stuff. I ain't worried about no shower. But that's the only time. And then she said they swim, so that's like showering. With chlorine?
Here, I have to take at least one bath a day. Most of the time, 2 times a day. Because it's hot and humid here.
Nobody scares me more than a person who do not understand the joys of sitting at home and being alone and being your own company. Again, I don't know how many times I have to say this. We think that high vibrations are people that go out and have all this fun and they're always on the run. They're always in the streets. They're always being invited somewhere. But people like that, I'm telling you, take my word for it. A lot of them, they're running from something. They're running from something. When you think about this, when you sit home and you're chilling, whether you're watching TV, cleaning, whatever, when you're alone, you're faced with your thoughts. You're faced with, your own self-reflections, whatever. And people that can be alone and be in a house by themselves, they are able to handle their self-reflection. They're able to, they like what they see. They like what they hear when they're alone because they are where they should be. Their vibrations are very high. They face their demons. They're facing their demons. And that is a sign of high vibrations. When somebody's always running, when somebody's always on the go and you never see them sitting their asses down somewhere, I can guarantee you that person got a lot of demons and skeletons in their closet and they can't face it. So their answer to everything is to run and, always, be on the go, always be over somebody else's house, leaving them spirits behind, leaving that bad energy behind, that bad juju. So be mindful. Be mindful of being around somebody who do not know how to sit their asses down and be alone.
Facts. It's funny how it irritates people that you can be by yourself. My peace is everything.
No president in the United States of America has solved this problem. Here's an entire shelf of useless ingredients used to feed Americans. You can see now it's bioengineered food and crop, or derived from bioengineered sources with a bunch of food colorings and ingredients that are banned in other countries. Somehow large corporations are Team USA or Team Diabetes. Just how all the large corporations take all the money and own everything. You can see Oreos owns this whole shelf right. What you should also notice is it's bioengineered food ingredients, and it has this lovely high fructose corn syrup, which you will start to notice is in everything. Like, for instance, whole shelf. You can't say I own the whole shelf without saying I probably contain high fructose corn syrup, some useless oils, and am definitely bioengineered. The entire aisle is unedible in a grocery store in America. They're creating these marketing knockoff brands that are still bioengineered food ingredients. Like, what is the point of that? If anything, they're charging $8.99 for just do 5 times 140 and then less ingredients. I mean, to be completely honest, if you have to choose between $8.99 for a special cereal, Magic whatever, and $6 for a giant box of cereal, they're both bioengineered food ingredients. We don't want to consume a majority of these ingredients, but if we had to pick, at least you get some vitamins and nutrients here. So only in America can you be charged more money, make it look like it's healthier for you, and then take all of the nutrients out. We call things vegetable oil, but in reality they're soybean oil. But if it was called soybean oil, less people would purchase it. We're marketed to death over here. So if the average American's in a grocery store wondering, like, what do I buy from the shelf? You can use peanut butter as an example. Most adults are about this high, so these 4 shelves right here It's kind of funny because this says soybean oil, but did they mean vegetable oil? It almost doesn't matter which one you grab on that shelf, they're always going to be hydrogenated vegetable oil. So when you're looking for the right one, these ones are convenient because they're easier to spread, but you want that oil floating on the top. That's not hydrogenated. So all these large corporations, that really look like food to y'all? It's nearly insane. All the cake in just one bite. I didn't know that cake had all of these ingredients in it. You know, next time you make cake, I guarantee you that you don't use most of these ingredients. When's the last time you put Yellow 5 Lake in your cake? As someone born in the 1990s, I unfortunately grew up on Hot Pockets and pizza roll. Now Nestle's getting in on the game, making literal dumpster lists of ingredients that is obviously bioengineered. So when everyone asking for help and change, we obviously can't rely on anyone else. We have to rely on ourselves. So the easiest way to start changing your life is looking at the products that they're clearly just giving to us, that they obviously don't care, and seeing all of these ingredients and realizing that, please look at this, 21, so if you eat 6 of these, you're eating times 2 this list of ingredients and putting it into your body, and it's bioengineered to taste great, but definitely not support health. And then if you live in the United States of America, just look and find out what brand it is. This is Nestle. Okay, Nestle obviously bioengineers their food ingredients and makes them a chemical concoction of things that you would probably never use. So since no one wants to save us or talk about it, only you can save yourself or prevent a forest fire in your gut microbiome by avoiding bioengineered food ingredients. Your chances of finding something healthy are extremely low. But if you pick up a product on the shelf, flip it around, and you don't see weird names you've never heard of before, or if it's not bioengineered, there's a high likelihood it's better for you. Because look at these pickles in the chilled section. That pickle's almost white. And Target doesn't sell the brand, but look for the food coloring. Oh, just kidding. I found Heinz. Yeah, they're definitely the one that doesn't care. So there's your yellow and blue food coloring.
Ooh.
Yummy. So any and every president that I've seen over my entire lifetime has never changed any of this. So what are you going to do? Consume some soybean oil, or is that vegetable oil, or is that a soda or Oreo in there as well? What are we mixing all these for? Oh, that's right. The companies that don't care. They're even coming after the kids. So next time you see red, white, and blue, flip it around and, well, there you go. Because imagine if someone decided to stand up against that. Because no matter what happens in the future...
For now, only in America, but I believe soon or later, they're going to reach everywhere. Some of us are just worker ants controlled by our corrupt governments and the rich elite. If you know, you know.
I have to watch this drone footage. So somebody was flying a drone over Hart Island in New York and they captured this.
Oof.
Several people in hazmat suits watching an excavator cover up coffins. Y'all, this is absolutely wild. Apparently this footage was taken around the height of and New York City was burying people that weren't claimed in their hospitals in mass graves on this island called Hart Island. Which is kind of weird to me. This seems more like zombie type stuff than it does COVID. Because why wouldn't you just cremate the bodies? That seems more civil than burying a bunch of people in a mass grave on an island. But New York even said that it's true. They have mass graves all over this island called Hart Island. And that's where they put all their unclaimed bodies and stillborns. Did anybody else know about this? This is creepy. What do y'all think about this?
My mind goes straight to if there any correlation with this and the mass amounts of homeless that just up and go missing from big cities. Let me know in the comment, folks.
Venezuela, by the way, has the lowest murder rate ever right now. What does that tell you?
Yeah, all the murderers are gone.
They're here.
What?
Yeah. So is it true that they're emptying prisons? I mean, is this
not
Cuba all over again?
This is not a hearsay. There was a memo by DHS last year admitting that, in fact, they knew that Venezuela's government was emptying their prison and rehabilitation centers or drug centers, releasing them on purpose because they knew with instructions to make, if you were going to get out, you're going to make your way to the U.S. That is not, we're not making that up. That's true. It was reported on, and DHS admitted that was happening. And in fact, it has. El Tren de Aragua is heavily present in our country now.
Okay, so you're telling me that DHS has acknowledged that Venezuela, for example, is emptying their prisons and their rehabilitation centers with the understanding you get out if you leave here and go to the United States.
Yes.
And DHS has, in writing, said, we know that's happening. We know they're coming here. We're processing them in and have no idea where they are.
Correct.
How many people are we talking about?
Millions. And just Venezuela alone.
We're talking about, in the last 2 or 3 years, we've had estimated how many people have come across the border.
My estimation, the official number, I think, is about 10 million.
Yeah, it's about 10, 11 million. Yeah, that's the official.
But my personal opinion, I think we're about 15 to 18 million.
Wow, this is wild. I hope it's not true. But if it's true, God protects the American people.
I wish I could take a chip, put it in my brain, and share it with you, because it's hard for me to explain those things. Because first of all, English is not my first language. And second, I don't freaking know how to explain my thoughts. But I've been in therapy for almost 5.5 years now, and the last streak been groundbreaking. So listen to that. I've been living with this disorder, or technically a disability, for quite a while. I don't share about it, which I think is a good thing, because let me explain you something. If you associate yourself with a disorder or disability, whatever you have, bad idea. Your cells, your body cells, are geniuses, tiny geniuses. They listen to everything, to your thoughts, to your words, and brain picks it up and projects it into the reality. So if you're a negative person who associates, I was a negative person, so I can openly talk about it. I was super negative person, so my reality sucked. Because you project everything. That's how manifestation work, but on a positive way. Same thing, I projected the most beautiful things in my life because I was in a positive mindset. And now I told my therapist, I don't want to have this disorder anymore. I'm done. I don't want to have it. And since I actually went with my brain and realized I don't want to associate with that, I don't want to have it, I don't want to be poor me, la 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 la, my symptoms are almost non-existent. It's a miracle, but it's not. It is not. Because your brain is the biggest computer. You can literally program every single thing. It's beautiful, sexy, fantastic things, you understand? But it sucks. You have to kind of go to square zero and start from the beginning, everything you believed in all your life, scratch that and go to square one. Fucking sucks, hurts. But something that's impossible to get rid of, what I have, my symptoms, like this, beautiful stuff, you understand? Obviously 1 month I will have it hardcore style, depending on certain things, but understanding that you are your own boss, you understand? I don't know if you understand. I hope you do. I really hope you do. I really want to explain it. I don't know, man, but just don't associate yourself with diseases you have, and watch how your world will unravel beautifully. Okay. Love you. Kiss you. Hope I didn't leave you completely confused. I am confused. You are confused. Everyone's confused. But go back to the roots of the problems. You sometimes have to go really deep in your childhood to understand what part of your personality wanted and projected it. And obviously there are physical diseases that you can't really project, but you actually do. A lot of people will fight me on that, but that's what the whole psychosomatic shabazzle is about. Okay? Love you. Kiss you. Miss you.
I associate myself with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I surrender everything to Him. Willpower is limited. God is everything.
It was what the French always do. Absolutely bizarre. Why is it always all right to mock Christianity? To use in this instance the Last Supper, where you seem to have a transgender model, drag queens, and a mostly naked singer painted blue. Tragically, do you remember what happened when they tried to put a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad in a magazine in Paris a few years back? There's no laughter then, was there? So it's all right, you can mock Christianity as much as you like, but don't even run a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. How does that work?
Let's just pray and let God handle it. We have a living God.
Here's why everything you learn in school is a lie.
1920 is when everything pretty much changed. They started changing every single thing. They started removing certain parts of the history. They started rewriting the history. 1920s is about that time. Educational system started changing everything. Rockefeller educational system. So if you find books, you want to find books before 1920s. Because if you don't find books before 1920s, you're usually being told a bunch of nonsense. And you look at a lot of the free energy books too, and everything related to the ether. That's before 1920s. The ether was removed from the periodic table after 1908. Every book you look into talks about ether and terrestrial magnetism and all of these things. 1908, that was removed off the periodic table.
Wonder why?
And that was removed so that people would not believe in the ether. They would think it's woo-woo. They would think it's pseudoscience. Those are all terms of the Rockefeller educational system. Coming up with terms to debunk the truth and debunk what we were once connected to. Then when you get rid of ether, you get rid of everything related to the fifth element and the quantum. You get rid of all of that. And then you make up a whole new narrative.
And that's
you
why
remove all that so that when you can't explain something, you just say, I don't know what it is.
It's actually insane how much has been removed and lied about.
Pops out. We love. All right. Now look at this beautiful modern interior. Look, you've got 3D printed parts here in the center console as well, and this amazing screen. The materials, you won't believe. This leather is made from cactus and mushrooms. This is mushroom. What? This is made from bamboo, this mat, and recycled plastic water bottles found in the ocean. The rear diffuser moves out to reduce drag. This is Mercedes EQXX.
So why do they charge so much if it's made out of recycle? Yup. I'm so proud of these brothers and sisters taking a stand there in Paris. I wish I was there, but I'm standing in total agreement with them in spirit.
Watch as this lady explains true evil.
Let me tell you what's more evil than a murderer. What's more evil than a murderer is you knowing God and going the opposite direction.
Let that sink in. Oh man,
It's you knowing His will and doing the opposite.
Oof.
If you knowing His standard and still choosing to do other things. It's you knowing His power and His grace and His majesty and you still choose alternatives over Him. That's evil.
I can't.
Jesus is not talking to sinners, He's talking to those who know Him. And He calls them evildoers. Why? Because you know the truth and you sit with it.
Oof.
Meaning you're okay with souls going to hell for your own company.
Oof,
Now for
man.
more truth and God, follow or subscribe now.
That's very powerful. Ooh, praise Jesus.
Here's a video on how to protect yourself against parasites that come from cats.
you can get a parasite from a cat called Toxoplasma gondii. There are 1 billion people in the world infected with Toxoplasma gondii. I'm not even kidding you. 60 million Americans. If you have this parasite that you can get from just one of these cute little guys, you are 7 times more likely to attempt suicide. Did you know that? That's true. 100% fact. Okay, so what do? Well, you deworm your cat and you deworm yourself. Most pet owners deworm their animals, but not themselves. So do it all, because if you have a cat, if you have a pet in your family, if you're not doing parasitic cleanses, then you're in trouble, because you're likely to be harboring harmful parasites in your body without you knowing that are causing all kinds of havoc to your body. So get them out. Do a parasite cleanse.
I have 6 cats. I feel fine. But just in case, I'm going to start deworming my cats and me next week.
People would put me down because they didn't think I could do as much as I can.
Oh man.
They would tell me, you can't hold this, you have to use your hands to
Look at
hold this. Or you
that.
can't get that, you gotta use your hands to get it. And I was like, I can get it with my feet, I'll find a way. I can eat with my feet. I draw with my feet. Ew. Brush my teeth with my feet. Okay. I can drive with my feet. Everybody's surprised by that.
No, that's wild. Such a beautiful soul. And can we talk about how beautiful she is? Skincare on point. She's gorgeous.
Talk about Thomas Matthew Crooks. How was he able to fly a drone over the rally location hours before? We went to Athens. At Athens, we flew a drone above Acropolis. Do you know what happened? What do you think you're doing? And that's Acropolis. There is no president. There is no the most famous guy that, increases tensions. You mean to tell me they're more worried about me flying a drone there than they are at a rally like this? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just it's totally fine. Seriously, yeah, it's okay. Let me continue. He was allowed to enter the rally with a rangefinder. He reportedly hid the gun near the building before the event. Police went inside. They're in the building, but not on top. So if you have a clear 150-yard shot, don't you think the police maybe needs to go see if there's somebody up there? I don't know. Don't you think maybe you would do a better job than these guys?
If I'm not mistaken, the head of the Secret Service is resigning the other day. That says something.
Most interesting day of your career? When I say interesting, the day that you think about and go, Jesus, that was like awesome, or that was from a movie.
So I can give you a story, which I don't think I've shared. So because I didn't look like an agent, I would get pulled in for a lot of undercover stuff, which I loved. It was fun, scary, but because I never got pegged for an agent, I always felt super safe. So I did this one thing where it was another undercover case where they came to me and we were working with NYPD. It wasn't my case, but they wanted me. There was this organized crime ring. I think they were Albanian, and they were selling passports, original passports and birth certificates to terrorists. And so they're selling it to them to help them come into the US and to other people who are bad actors. So the agencies get wind of this and they want to get these guys, this guy specifically with this organized crime ring. They're trying to figure out how to get in because they were so good at what they did, like you couldn't get them. So they wanted me to go in undercover and pretend to be someone who needed paperwork. So they're trying to figure out how do we do it. So the idea we came up with was I would be someone who had been sex trafficked from an Eastern Bloc country because I can pass for it. So I started talking on the phone. I was introduced him through another undercover and talking to him on the phone, and I had to develop an Eastern Bloc accent. I need my papers. They brought me here from, my country. Because when they sex traffic people in, the first thing they do when they lure you in is they'll take your paperwork from you. And you can't even get a cell phone here in the US without paperwork. So they take your stuff and then they put you either to do sex traffic, sex work, or work in strip clubs, or both, till you pay off your debt for them bringing you to America. So I pretended to be one of those. So under that premise, I have no paperwork, so I can't get an apartment, I can't get anything. I'm at the mercy of these traffickers, which until I pay my dues, which you never do, by the way. They keep you locked in. And then they make them afraid, and they tell them if you say anything, they're going to deport you back, which actually is not true. However, so I take on this role. I start talking to this guy. I need papers. Please, they take my papers. How much for new papers?
How do you learn this accent? Did you just go online?
I studied acting, and then plus my parents are immigrants. I grew up in New York and Queens, so I just picked them up. But I practice it. And I had to be good, because if you're not good, you get a bullet to the head when you meet this guy. So you have to live in reality, because my life is also on the line. And so I have these phone calls with him. He agrees, okay, I'll meet with you. So my first meeting is passport photos. I had to go get passport photos. I go meet him. And I remember when I met him at I think he did construction, was the outside thing he did. We meet him. I'm in like dress clothes. I'm dressing like as a very young woman, but I also had to put on sneakers because I'm like, hey, if this guy tries to do something, I need to be able to run. So I meet him. I bring my passport photos. I go to this location. That's a front. Hi, I'm here to see. I don't remember the guy's name. They're like, oh, no, he's not here. You'll have to wait for him. So they play with me for a little while. Everyone's watching me from the outside, but I have no wire on. And we debated whether I should have a wire or not, or a gun. And I chose to take nothing. So I've got nothing with me, which makes me more vulnerable. But my concern was if they put me through a metal detector or they checked me, that would be worse. Because now I'm in their home and they'll just off me right off the bat. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. He finally comes. Then he tries to lure me into his car.
What?
And I had been briefed, whatever you do, you don't get into a car with this guy. So I don't get in the car, and I'm like, no, I don't get into a car. He's like, no, we need to talk private. Now I have eyes on me, and I want to make sure the agents and everybody can see me. So there's this back and forth where I'm like, I'm afraid, I don't want to go into the car. He has passport photos. I give him, I think it was 5 G's. I give him an envelope of $5,000. Here's the $5,000. He's like, okay, come back in like 2 weeks. And he's like, maybe you'll get in my car. So I come back like 2 weeks later. Same story. I meet him. I get my passports. He gave me a Polish passport. I won't forget. It was a real authentic Polish passport and a certificate, birth certificate, and all that. And I'm like, the deal was, though, I needed more transactions with this guy, because the more you get, the longer you can put them away. But he was so good, we couldn't get anything that we knew he had done. So I'm like, hey, I have more friends. Can I send you more girls? I'll bring you more girls. So he's like, oh, yeah. So then I start bringing him more girls.
Who are these girls?
Other undercovers, other undercover female agents, and cops. We had NYPD play. And so we go in and we're doing this buying and selling transactions till we got enough to get the U.S. attorney to say, yes, we got him. And then they went in and they took him down. That was pretty interesting.
Were you scared at any point?
I was not, because I always felt safe in that nobody, Stephen, ever thought I was a cop. Nobody ever thought I was an agent. I didn't look like one. I didn't speak like one. So I felt very safe.
Say is the definition of think before you speak. Because I could never speak this smoothly.
Got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear the sound of your own voice?
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Thanksgiving's in 2 days, and I can call you on your cell phone now, baby, and you can talk to my dad about his head.
Whoa, are you okay? Is that too loud?
No, not too loud. The boy that's annoying. You don't hear that? I have to hear this forever.
Don't be silly, baby.
Oh, there we go again, Doc. You know why this guy's smiling? Because he's probably deaf and he can't hear his wife's voice. Doc, please take it off. Help me, please.
Relax.
Help me.
This is a celebration. Trust me, from one married man to another, you'll get used to it.
I don't believe any word that came out of your mouth.
Bro gave up so fast. This is the funniest thing I have seen all week. Alright folks, thank you for staying till the end. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make a better content. There's a free gift below. And if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are in the description below. Have a prosperous day and God bless.